What's up, everybody? It's Frazier here with Shred Media again. Very excited for my next guest. I know I say that a lot, but I'm actually, and I meant it every time.
He didn't mean it any other time.
I didn't mean any of it, but I mean it this time because I have a good friend of mine, someone that I've known, first met as a
Mason
client
McDuffie, yeah.
at Mason McDuffie Mortgage
Yeah.
as a client, but come to know him as one of my favorite vendors, but not only that, but a good friend of mine, Scott Harris, SocialSurvey. How you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm good. You know, I don't really like the word vendor.
Yeah, I know you don't. Yep.
Right? We are a tribe. We are marketers building technology together. And if you come to the summit, you see that, right?
Yep.
You saw that last year. We don't build anything our customers don't tell us to. And when someone calls us a vendor, that kind of hurts. I mean, people have come up to us and said, "You're not a vendor. You're a partner. We don't even consider you guys a vendor."
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, they are definitely a partner. So Scott, how have you liked the conference so far?
Yeah, this is I think it's a new conference.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And the expectations were about here, but I think right at the end, man, they made a push, and I think they got the guys at Shred involved. I think that's one of the things that happened. And I think they made a bunch of phone calls, so.
Well, we try to do what we can.
Yeah.
So you just were on stage doing your little 8-minute speed dating. How'd that go?
Good. I don't do much in 8 minutes, but I was able to get through it. It was very chill. I had some slides, and I just basically was talking to everyone. And I think I said, I hope I didn't offend anybody. At one point I said, after I showed them what we do for some of our customers, I said, if you're not on SocialSurvey, you're losing to a SocialSurvey customer. So,
well, which is probably true.
That's
right?
accurate, yeah.
So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. And this is one thing, and I tell this for people when, because I talk about SocialSurvey all the time. They were one of the very few handful of partners that we had that actually did what they said they were going to do. But this is the one thing that I always bring up. And Scott, you probably don't remember this because this was long. This was years ago, right? And so I'm in there. I've been pleasure of been accepted into the SocialSurvey family, working there out of the office, and you were talking to me about something, but because I've talked with a lot of partners and a lot of people that are service providers to the industry, and at the end of the day, for the most part, you have your honeymoon stage. They do what they're doing, and then if there's a problem or anything else, then it kind of goes by the wayside. There's not much, but and they're like, hey, look, if they're paying us, cool and whatever. But the one thing that stood out to me with Scott is that Scott was getting paid. He had his clients. Everything was going as from a financial transaction was going good, but Scott was still pissed, and we were like, what are you mad about? And he's like, I'm mad because they're not 100% using it. They be getting so much value. He was mad because that even though they were paying him and they were happy with what they were getting, he was mad that he was not giving 100% value, not off any problem with SocialSurvey, but problem because even though he was trying to do everything they could, they just weren't really adopting it and getting the value they could have gotten. And you just don't see that very often.
Well, I mean, look, they designed it.
Yeah.
Right? And so first off, our customers get 10 times what we sell them. But if they're not using reply to reviews, they're missing a massive SEO opportunity, a massive opportunity to connect you to your customers. So just that one thing, if they're not, and I understand that they're busy and they're focused on other things, and SocialSurvey is set it and forget it. But I kind of hate that it's set it and forget it, right?
Yep.
Don't forget it. There's more.
Yep.
And so, yes, they're getting great value and they're happy, and we don't lose customers. We love our customers, and we hope they love us. And, it's just, for me, it's more is more. And why wouldn't you use it, right? If you've got it, you might as well use it. And so, we literally, our success team, we do this white glove thing, but our success team, and they build relationships with our customers, and they'll call them and say, I need you in this. And I heard one of them on the phone, they're like, I'm going to have Scott call you. And I'm like, don't threaten the customer. It's a good thing if I call the customers.
Yeah.
So that was funny. Did you see Bill Dallas's speech yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It was he did this.
That's my biggest takeaway of the event so far. Oh my goodness! Man. Yeah,
Bill Dallas did a fruit fly analogy.
Yep.
He put this infographic up of all the companies that could be in trouble, and when that comes up, you kind of, as SocialSurvey, you kind of go, oh shit. I can't see that far, so I had to ask somebody squint and see if we're on that list. Because Bill gets it right a lot, right?
Yeah.
But just kidding, Bill. This is a joke. Don't put me on that damn infographic.
Everyone. That's the fruit fly has been the talk, and I know Savage was kind of pulling your leg a little bit. He's like, oh no, you were totally on that list.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Yeah, and he wasn't. But that was funny. But what Bill Dallas's point to it for because obviously a lot of you didn't get to check that out, but was like, look. Why are we learning innovation from humans? Because they hate change, but really you can learn from fruit flies. And he had those because, look, he said, they're going to die, but at least you can learn something from them before they do. Yeah, so that was his point. And SocialSurvey definitely is not a fruit fly.
We didn't make the list.
Yeah, you did.
You want to get on most infographics. If you're a software company
yes.
and they put infographic, you want to be on that. You do not want to be on Bill Dallas's infographic.
Yeah, so if Bill Dallas ever says, I'm going to put you, give me your logo because I'm going to put you on an infographic, say no. No, thank you. No, thank you, Bill. It's not going to turn out well for you. But getting back to, what you guys are doing at SocialSurvey, and again, I know you hate this stuff, but like I like to talk about SocialSurvey because, again, look, in the more, and I'm speaking to my fellow mortgage executives out there. There's a lot of providers out there promising the moon and stars, but the one thing that I loved about SocialSurvey, one is that, look, if you're out there, you need to understand that social proof and reviews, testimonials is going to be the lifeblood. That is going to be your weight in gold going forward because that is what the consumer is going to look for. But second is what I'm looking at is how many can I get? How much? How many surveys can I get people actually to respond to? How many times can I get them to actually go through to the review site that I want, whether it be Google or what have you,
Zillow or whatever,
right? Zillow, right? And we're not going to talk about Zillow, but we're going to talk about Google, right? So I'll forgive Scott for that, but we're going to talk about Google, but maybe even Yelp. But here's what it comes down to: is when we did that, and at the time we were doing Zillow reviews, is that within a month and a half, and I'm not joking because this was my world. This is what I was responsible for. I was responsible for bringing SocialSurvey on. Is that within a month and a half, because I always tracked reviews and how many we get, 10x. 10 times what we were getting before within a month and a half what they do. So if you guys aren't doing this, you guys need to be doing it because it is going to be important. And right now in the mortgage industry, there is no competitor. I'm going to say that right now. There is no competitor in the mortgage industry for as deep and as much as that you guys do.
Yeah, I think if you take all the other review platforms in mortgage and combine them, we probably have more reviews than the combined than the combined group. I like to look at it like this, right? Buyers today are different than buyers yesterday.
Yep.
If you think about the way the experience economy has evolved, I kind of laugh about it when I think about my dad spending $300 on a birthday party so me and my friends could bounce on trampolines for an hour. Never happened.
Yeah.
Right? But we'll do it in a heartbeat now. It's like
your dad would probably slap you for asking for something like that back then.
My dad would probably be upset with me now if he knew what I paid for kids' birthday parties, right? I mean, you're lucky if you got a Betty Crocker box mix when we were, right? And so it's just changed. My son, my 10-year-old son, during Christmas, he wanted some DJ equipment. He loves music, and he's really into this DJ stuff. And at 10, right, he's buying differently than I ever bought. And then I buy today. My son never went into Guitar Center or one of these stores and felt the equipment. He never went and demoed the Pioneer DDJ SB3. He never touched it. He never heard it. But he went and did research, found the one he wanted, came to me armed for victory. He said, Dad, I want the Pioneer DDJ SB3 for Christmas. He said they have a 4.5. They have lots of reviews, and the people that gave them bad reviews, they couldn't figure out how to set it up. And I thought for a second, oh, he knows what I do. What a good boy.
Yeah.
A week later, I bought him that thing, by the way. A week later, we're in the car, and he goes, Dad, what do you do? And I'm like, what do you mean what do I do? He said, well, I know what you do. You talk to people. And I'm like, all right. He goes, but what does your job do? What do you do for a job, your business? And I'm like, we're in the reviews business. And I'm thinking about this Pioneer, this Amazon reviews thing that when he wanted that for Christmas. And he goes, oh, you mean like Amazon? I mean, this kid's been in my office 100 times and he didn't know I was in the space. But the punchline is 10-year-olds are buying better than we're buying.
Yeah.
10-year-olds, it's shifted. And today, 92% of buyers start their home search online, right? You're going to find out, Rick and I are doing a presentation here in a second, and what you're finding out is that the curve of home buyers that start with the real estate agent has gone from like 70 to 30%. And those folks that start online and initiate the process online have gone from basically 30 to 70. It's a shift. It's happening right now. And so if you're going to get ahead of that, and you have to get ahead of it. I mean, you wouldn't open up a store and not decorate it, right?
Yep.
Right? You wouldn't open up a store and then not promote it. And so it's the same thing. If you want to get ahead of that, you got to decorate the store. You got to make sure that Google's algorithm is a part of your setup. You got to make sure that you're managing the voice of your customer. Because if you don't, your unhappy customers will be more than happy to do it for you.
Yep.
Right? Because they are online and they're telling their stories. And it's so powerful and it's very organic. And so I go on and on. I'm just.
Yeah. Well, that's
I love this shit. By the way,
but it's true because I'll take it 3 years younger. My daughter, who's just turned 7, same thing. Like she looks at reviews, she looks at pricing, and like she's a 7-year-old consumer, right? When it comes down to it, and the stuff she says to me just cracks her, me and her mother up. She's a crack up in general, but just the way that she talks about that stuff. And it's very true, and so we need to understand that like that's what's going to be gold, and so you got to understand, you got to think about that. Just doesn't end just because we're talking about kids. We're talking about like the people that are buying houses right now, the people that are actually searching and looking.
Every age bucket, it's changed in every single age bucket.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the one thing about with where social media, tech, and everything that's happening right now as a culture, the experience economy is it's destroying these barriers where we think that someone's in a certain bucket and they're going to act differently. No, everyone's looking at the same thing, so we need to stop marketing to people and providing services to people like there is such thing as demographic barriers, because there just isn't anymore with this economy.
There's not. We've had a long run of amazing economy. If you just think about it, you can see the evolution. Just think that post World War II, the economy was booming, and it was you couldn't even imagine those folks spending anywhere near what we spend for experiences. We will literally, I mean, Vegas, think about Vegas 20 years ago. You would go to Vegas and all of these buffets were like feeding troughs trying to offer the cheapest $3 and the best and cheapest $3.95 buffet. But now, today, the dining experience is as much the Vegas experience as the casinos and the shows, right? We'll gladly go drop $200-$300 on a dinner at Javier's at Aria or at one of the Knife and Fork or wherever you go as a part of our Vegas experience. We are different. Hell, I got a lot of people in my house. Sometimes I'll spend the money just so I don't have to do dishes.
I hear you on that. I don't have as many people as you do, but it's enough to where it's the same thing. So I know you got to get going, but before we do that, I want you to talk a little bit about the CreateWOW Summit that's coming up.
Yeah, so the CreateWOW Summit is our unconference. It's literally a marketing and culture conference for executives, marketing professionals, and we get a little weird. And we have a lot of fun, and we do things different. We don't like to speak at you. We like to work with you. And so these conferences are very interactive. They're very workshop. And we'll get roughly 300 folks at this conference, and a lot of them will be our customers. But you don't have to be our customer to be at the CreateWOW Summit. We have lots of great speakers. We'll have Facebook speakers and LinkedIn speakers, and we'll have Brittany Hodak will be there, who is freaking fantastic.
She's awesome.
And I'll be releasing my new book, which I'm very excited about. I can't believe I wrote a book.
Which he's dedicating to me, by the way.
Yeah, he's added a lot of value. It is September 4th through the 6th. Everyone says they have the best conference. Let me just tell you this about our conference. We take our swag seriously. Bring extra room in your bag for swag. Almost every event, there'll be another shirt or jacket or something. We take our food seriously. We take our parties seriously. You can sleep on Saturday when you get home because there's not a lot of sleep at a SocialSurvey conference. And we take the way we connect and try, build, and interact with our customers and the folks that come to the conference very seriously. Again, we are marketers building technology together. So I hope you can come. If you're a prospect, if you're not a customer, reach out to me, Scott@SocialSurvey.com, and I'd like to make it my treat for you to come to the summit this year. If you come to the summit and you get immersed into our tribe and see how we interact and see how we connect, some of the things Jason was talking about, you'll just get, right? It's just a different flavor. It's the Zappos of reputation management when you think about enterprise reputation. So anyway, thank you for this.
Oh yeah,
this is fantastic.
Absolutely. And just so I was, lucky enough to speak and be a part of the CreateWOW Summit last year. It was a great event. In fact, some of the lessons and some of the information I learned from some of the marketers there, I actually use today, and actually is what a lot of the keynotes that I do is based off stuff that I learned at his conference at the CreateWOW last year. I'm fortunate enough to be speaking again this year, and Shred Media is a sponsor, so we're excited about that. Shred Media is, again, and I've said this on multiple interviews with the people that we do, Shred Media is all about working with the best of the best in the industry, but also those that are truly adding value to the narrative and to the future legacy of this business surviving for the local expert. So, Scott, SocialSurvey, you guys are awesome. Thank you again, brother, for being on this. And we look
I had
forward
to stand up. My goodness, preach it, brother.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it.
We're doing it. But no, check it out. It is a great conference. It is an unconference. They take great strides in making sure that it is a different experience for the industry.
Just as an example, we'll lose $150,000 on the event. We're not making money on the event. We're building it. We're bringing experience to the event.
Yeah. So it absolutely is true. And again, I vouch for Scott. I vouch for SocialSurvey. They are a great partner to have in this industry, and they're in multiple verticals now. So not just this, but we're in the mortgage conference. So we're just going to talk about that. But hey, check them out. SocialSurvey.
For my people. Scott, get in there.
There we go. Scott at SocialSurvey. Check them out. Scott, thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you speak in a few here.
All right. Thanks,
all right, brother.
Appreciate it.